Have you ever felt trapped in a role you didn't consciously choose? The role of the compulsive accommodator. The one who instinctively smooths over conflict. The one whose yes is automatic. The one who works tirelessly to make sure everyone else is comfortable. You do it because you believe kindness and agreeability are the currencies of connection. But you've also felt the quiet sting of a paradox. The more you try to be universally liked, the less you feel truly respected. This is the pleaser's paradox. It's the frustrating reality that a boundless desire to be agreeable doesn't lead to admiration. It often leads to being overlooked, undervalued, and taken for granted. If you've ever felt this way, know that you are not alone, and this isn't a flaw in your character. It's a strategy you learned, likely for good reasons, to keep the peace, to feel safe, to belong. But today, we're going to explore a different path. Not a path of becoming aggressive or unfeeling, but a path of becoming integrated, of becoming sovereign. We will use the timeless wisdom of philosophy to guide us from a life of accommodation to a life of authentic presence, creating a person who is both genuinely kind and undeniably respected. Part 1. The psychology of the ghost. Why does the person who dedicates themselves to harmony, the chronic accommodator, often become a ghost in their own life, seen through but rarely truly seen? The answer lies in a fundamental principle of human interaction: perceived value. Psychology's social exchange theory suggests that our relationships are, on a subconscious level, a dance of value exchange. This isn't cold or transactional. It's about the mutual offering of support, knowledge, joy, and respect. The individual driven by an obligation to accommodate inadvertently devalues their own currency. By saying yes to everything, their yes becomes worthless. By having no boundaries, they signal that their time, energy, and even their own needs have no value. And as a rule of human nature, we do not cherish that which is endlessly available and costs nothing to acquire. The Stoic philosophers had a powerful metaphor for this: the inner citadel. Your inner citadel is your mind, your principles, your non-negotiables. It is the fortress that protects your self-respect. The person who defaults to agreeability leaves the gates of their citadel wide open. They let anyone wander in, take what they want, and leave without consequence. They mistakenly believe this openness is a virtue, but as the philosopher Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. When you are not the master of your own domain, others will be. They will test your fences, not always out of malice, but simply because you haven't shown them where the fences are. This leads to a slow erosion of respect, leaving you feeling exhausted and invisible. The first step to being seen is to build the walls of your own citadel. Part 2. Forging the sovereign self. The 4 principles. Becoming a person who is both respected and welcomed isn't about fabricating a new personality. It's about integrating the parts of you that you've suppressed. It requires practice, guided by 4 key principles. Principle 1. Define your territory with graceful strength boundaries. Are not walls to keep people out. They are clear lines that teach people how to behave around you. The key is to communicate with them with calmness and clarity, not anger and resentment. Let's use an example. Your boss asks you on a Friday afternoon to handle a non-urgent project over the weekend. The old pattern of immediate agreement might kick in, followed by a surge of anxiety about your lost weekend. Instead, practice a 3-step response. Acknowledge, state, propose. First, acknowledge their reality. I understand this is important for the team's progress next week. This shows you were listening and empathetic. Second, state your boundary clearly and simply, without over-explaining. Over-explaining sounds like you're seeking permission. You are not. Say, "My weekends are committed to my family and personal time to recharge." Third, propose a collaborative alternative. "I can make it my first priority on Monday morning and have an update for you by 10 a.m. Will that work?" This response isn't aggressive. It's professional, respectful, and absolutely firm. You have honored their request while unapologetically protecting your own territory. You teach them that your time is valuable. Principle 2. Master the art of the calm. No. When you have to deliver a no, your emotional state is everything. An explosive, emotional refusal can damage a relationship, while a calm, firm refusal builds respect. The philosopher Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." When faced with an unreasonable request, do not react in the moment. Pause. Breathe. Separate the event from the story you tell yourself about it. For instance, a friend constantly asks to borrow money right before payday. The story you tell yourself might be, "They're so disrespectful. They're using me." This story leads to an angry outburst. Instead, focus on the facts. The event is, a request for money has been made. Your calm, factual response could be, "I've noticed this has become a pattern, and it's putting a strain on our friendship and my finances. As a rule, I don't lend money to friends anymore. I value our friendship too much for money to come between us." This is a principled stand, not a personal attack. It is delivered with quiet strength. This is the essence of being hard on the issue, but soft on the person. Principle 3. Cultivate principled warmth, not erratic temperament. A powerful concept for earning respect is principled warmth. This is the idea of being consistently warm, generous, and easygoing on everyday matters, but becoming an immovable object when a core principle is violated. This contrast is what creates a powerful aura of respect. It aligns with Aristotle's concept of the golden mean, finding the virtue between the extremes of being a doormat and being a tyrant. For example, you are the most helpful and collaborative colleague in your office. You share information, you stay late to help the team, you bring a positive attitude. Everyone feels your warmth. But one day, during a major meeting, a colleague presents your idea as their own. In this moment, your warmth recedes. After the meeting, you approach them privately, without emotion, and say, "The idea you presented for the marketing campaign was the one I shared with you yesterday. I expect you to clarify who originated that concept in your follow-up email." Your voice is calm. Your stance is non-negotiable. The person is shocked. They have only ever seen your warmth. Now they have met your spine. They have learned instantly and unforgettably where your boundary is. You are not unpredictable. You are principled. Principle 4, become a source, not a resource. Those who default to accommodation often act as a resource, a utility to be used. A respected person acts as a source, a wellspring of value that people are drawn to. You must actively cultivate your own value in 3 key areas. Professional value, master your craft. Become exceptionally good at what you do. Competence is the bedrock of respect. When you are the person with the answers, the skills, or the vision, people will seek you out and value your input. Emotional value. Radiate positive energy. Be the person who others feel good around. This doesn't mean being a clown, it means being genuine, listening deeply, and not burdening others with constant complaints. It's the ability to make someone feel seen and heard. This is an immense and rare value. Resource value. Be a generous connector. Share your network, your knowledge, and your opportunities freely, but wisely. This is crucial. Give your value to people who appreciate it, who reciprocate, and who are on a similar path. The Stoics taught that we should be generous, but not foolish. Your value is precious. Don't offer it to those who will only take. By building these pillars, you are no longer seeking validation. You are the validation. Respect becomes a natural byproduct of the value you embody. The journey from being a social chameleon to a sovereign individual is not about learning tactics to be difficult. It is a journey inward. It is about the deliberate and conscious construction of your self-respect. You learn to be hard on the issue, but soft on the person. You learn that in small, unimportant matters, you can be as flexible as water, but on the great matters of principle, of dignity, of your own well-being, you must be as firm as rock. You no longer ask, what do they want from me? You begin to ask, what do I value? What are my principles? How can I bring my best self to this interaction? The great Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself in his private meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and the respect you receive in your life depends on the quality of your self-respect. Build your inner citadel first. Know your own value. From that fortress of self-sovereignty you can engage with the world, not with fear, but with an open, generous, and unbreakable strength."